Hey everyone, I'm doing it again. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 more Kittl design styles. Now, what Kittl has done, if you haven't seen the video that I made earlier, is they're taking some of the design styles that are very popular on Etsy, Amazon, and some other places, and they're making Kittl AI styles with it. So it's really easy to create designs that look really good and will get you some sales using Kittl. So I'm going to go through it. These are the 5 design styles that I'm going to cover in this video. There's some really fun ones. I'm going to show you examples of how they look like, and I'm going to show you some of the qualities that they have in these. So we're going to break it down, all these 5. I think they're really cool. I'll share with you my favorites as well at the end. So let's get into Kittl right now, and I'll share with you these 5 styles. All right, so here I am in Kittl, and here are the 5. Now, if you don't know where to find these, I'm just going to show you. It's right here. Just click on here, and you'll see the styles, right? And you can see they added 2 more since I did the video last time. I did the pop art last time, the, what was it, scrapbook display, this Dolce Vita Summerfest, and this one right here, Crazy Sports. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. But this time we're gonna do Heritage Brew, or Old Fellow, I like to call it what it says, but it's Old Fellow, Worn Comic, DIY Print. That one actually says the right one. That one says Worn Comic too. Rizzo Print, right here, and we already did the pop art, so I'm going to skip over that, and I'll do Childlike Scribble, this one right here. So those 5, and who knows, in the next week we probably will get a couple more even. So what I like to do on here is show you how they are different by using the same exact prompt for all of these. And the one I did here is this one, this corgi. You can see it by going here, the prompt details. You can see this right here. Create a cute cartoon corgi. Sitting eating a bowl of ramen. Basically, it's this corgi that I did by hand up on my wall here, the corgi eating ramen. So I kind of tried to describe that and then use that same prompt. But as you can see, this prompt isn't very complex. I mean, it's long, but it's mainly me describing what's in the picture because there's a lot to see in that picture. So I'm going to show you one by one. We're going to start with this Heritage Brew, or Old Fellow. I keep calling it Heritage Brew. They really should have just called it Old Fellow like that. But Old Fellow, this one, you can see, we're going to zoom in. The design artwork on here is amazing. I love the look of this corgi. And we can see a little bit of distressed texture. If we go in a little bit, you can see that. And I think it has an outline around all of them. Like this one right here, they like to show like what it does. And you can see there's an outline, like almost like a double outline around the whole thing. And that's what it did to my corgi here. But the artwork is stellar. I would say if you need to use something for artwork, this one is a good one. You can see how well it did the noodles and the egg and things like that. But definitely a more vintage look to it. So the next thing I did was I created this one right here. So I'll give you the prompt. I'll show you the prompt anyway. Very simple prompt right here. You can see Head and Shoulders, Statue of Liberty, blah, blah, blah. I'll zoom in so you can read it. But you can see how it turned out. Again, everything has an outline. That's one of the qualities of this one. And the artwork, again, is amazing. The shadows and highlights and things. Look at that as we close up. The necklace is amazing. So, and then the letters that it's using, it didn't use the letters on my other one, but look at the artwork of the letters itself is pretty cool. So that made me think I should do one that's mainly text. Let's see what that looks like. And here we go. Hey sunshine, mainly text. Look how it writes the letters. Like each one's a little different. They look hand-drawn, which is really cool. And again, vintage looking. I'll show you the prompt I did on this one. Super easy, right? Very easy prompt, but the results turn out really great. So I really like this one. And the vintage look on it, the distressed texture, it just has that look. So that's why it's called Old Fellow. It has that vintage feel for it. And the artwork is amazing too. So don't only do text on this, even though the text is really cool. It has an outline. It has usually a drop shadow. I think this one did kind of a drop shadow, but doesn't have to have a drop shadow. I didn't say to put a drop shadow. You can see this one, I just said, do the words, hey sunshine, hay's at the top, sunshine on the bottom, put the sun, and then I let it go. I did say all on a light yellow background, but that's it. Like it went for it. So it's a testament to see what you can do with a very small prompt or light prompt. So let's do the next one. That's Old Fellow. Really like that one. So next one here is called Worn Comic. Worn Comic, and they use the words here. So some of the qualities of this one is like they have even more distress. The eyes on this corgi's getting me, but the artwork is amazing too, but a lot more distressed texture, almost like a comic book. If you can go closer here, it's almost halftone. There's some halftones in here, so there's that. And then this has some like really big shadows, right? 3D looking stuff. And again, the outline. So this one has just a very thick outline, whereas the other one had a kind of a thick and thin outline on here. But kind of similar to the other one. I really like the artwork on this one too. It really did a good job on the corgi and the noodles and everything. So same prompt, right? So this one and this one has the same prompt. I actually said to put a red background on this one, but I think it just ignored it on a solid red background, but it didn't do it. But this one did. I really like this one too. I think the bold text and everything works really well. So speaking of bold text, you can see the style on this one. So I'll show you the prompt on this one. Very simple prompt. Goose with sunglasses relaxing, and the words above and below. And look how it does the text. It has kind of like that comic book feel, but like an old retro splattered halftone color. The artwork is great, but the text is like this big hand-drawn 3D kind of thing, like almost like graffiti style. Look at this with the halftones underneath here. Really cool. I didn't tell it what colors to make it. It just chose the colors, which I think I would let it do because it does a good job at picking the colors. But really cool artwork. I like that the foot is on the letter here, so it's all together. I love how it kind of puts like layers right on top of it. Really neat. And the splatter. So this one's a very different style than the other one here, where it's a little more clean. This one's a little more dirty, I guess, and has that spatter and that. I tried to see what this would look like with mainly text. So this one, very simple prompt. You can see just 250 for 250, and then I asked it to put American flags and stuff around it, and you can see it does have that outline right there. So really neat. I like that this visual style of the halftones, again, it's still doing it. So it has that feeling of the old 80s kind of graffiti with the thick letters and the halftones and the distressed on it too. So that's kind of what this style is. So if you're gonna do either text or artwork, I don't know if it can, well, it does do just artwork like this, because this one didn't I asked it to put some text in here, but if you want mainly artwork, I think it does it really well. So kudos to Kittl for both of these, because the artwork on both of these I think is stellar. I really like it. So that's Worn Comic. Try that one out too. You can see the kind of the results here, these 3 results. I really like this one too. It's going to be hard to choose which is the better one. The next one right here is DIY paint or print. DIY print. I don't know why I thought paint, because it looks like paint as it's coming down, but DIY print. You'll notice some of the qualities that it has. I didn't notice until I actually made one, but look at the small little letters or words in each corner. Each corner has little words. Don't know why. That's a style. I guess that's a style that they saw. And then of course like this printed background, and the letters on it is like these, like, I don't know what you call it. It's almost like paint, and which is why I said paint, but it kind of has this movement, right? So here's the difference between this one and the other one. So this one, I didn't ask it to put in slurp, nor did I ask it to put in good noodles, good mood, made fresh every day, Tokyo, Japan, or the background. So it did that on its own. That's part of this style, is it has the halftone kind of print in the background. Has a really good artwork, but it always puts in text in each corner, and whether you want it or not, text on here. I didn't ask for slurp, it just put in slurp. So let me show you some ideas that I came up with. I did sippin' on liberty. Let me show you the prompt here. So very simple prompt, see that? Ben Franklin, George Washington, John Adams here. And look, it put, the background is kind of like this dual tone background. The design is more realistic, but then kind of more of a art style, right? And then the text is amazing. So I wanted to see if it just did text, and look what happened. I did this one, very simple. Create a design with the words, read more books. And what did it do? It put words in each corner. It also put a design in the background, and it did do read more books. So what I would do if you really just want the text is I would select the text and then like break it out of this right here. So you'd have to do that in like either Photoshop or something. I'm not sure if you could do that in Kittl. I'll have to check on how I would take this. Maybe make it, oh, actually I would create this as a vector, and maybe the words itself would be a vector. I'm gonna try that actually. I didn't think about that. So I'm gonna vectorize this and see what happens. Use it, oops, I gotta move my face. I don't know, let's do like 5 colors. Okay, we're gonna do this side project right here as we talk about this. So this one, I wanted to see if it just did artwork. So look at this. Create a design with no words, just have the graphic. And guess what? Just like the first one, it actually put words. I didn't ask for cats. I didn't ask for 1, 2, 3, 4. It just did it. I just wanted the artwork to see what it would look like. The artwork is great, kind of dark, but I asked it to do whatever, so it did. But yeah, I think this makes a great, like, it almost looks to me like an album cover. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, let's see if it did it on this side project here. The SVG is not supported for editing. Let's see. Did it do my? Here we go. Okay, well, one of the things I could do is I could get the colors and like change it. So I'm gonna change those colors, and maybe I can like just delete some of these other ones. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna hack it here. See. Yes. Okay, so the only one left is this one. Now I'm gonna hit erase, which is gonna rasterize it. Nice. And then I'm gonna erase these things like this. This is a hack. And then I'm gonna hit done. And now I'm gonna vectorize this one color and see what it does. That should work. It's a workaround, but now we just have the text here. So that's really cool. So if you just want the text, a little bit of workaround, but I think the text is really cool, right? Look at that. Everything looks really different, and I think this by itself could do really well. Maybe put some lines over it, put some other things. But if you didn't want this whole thing that looks like kind of a, to me, it looks like an album cover, which is really cool if that's what you're going for. I think it would make a great poster and stuff. But if you just want the text on it, like this sipping on liberty, that is such a cool text. So follow along. You're gonna have to do a couple more steps, but you can see I took this out of here, and it really works. So that's a cool one. So very cool style. As far as t-shirts go, unless you're gonna do the full thing here, the full square. I mean, sometimes you have like full squares on t-shirts, and they're okay, but I don't know if you need the 4 things right there. So you can kind of manipulate it with some Kittl things. You can vectorize it, upscale it, erase stuff, and all these things, and then get the thing that you want. But I think the style, like these artwork kind of stuff, is really, really cool. So that's DIY print, and that's what kind of it looks like. All right, let's move on to this one. I really like this hot dog design. It's called Rizzo print, and if we zoom in here, you can see a little more simple art style. Not my favorite art style for the corgi as compared to that one is hilarious. But this one, oh whoops, This is okay. It's an okay style. It still drew it really nice. It's just like more simple style. So if that's what you're going for, I think that would work out. You'll notice this one also has some kind of like texture on it too. So be aware of that. So I wrote this one really easy. This prompt, there you see it. Tired Moms Club. And that's what it did. Very simple art style, like I said. And it uses very simple text. So if that's what you're going for like this is almost like a sans serif condensed text here too, and this is sans serif. So very, very simple ones. It doesn't only do sans serif. You can see this one right here. I wrote this text. I wanted to see what it would look like with mostly text. And I said create red, white, and blue, have ribbons. I didn't tell it what kind of font to use, and it chose to do this kind of font with more slab serif here. So still turned out great. I said solid blue background and didn't say what other colors. Of course, red and white are in the prompt there, so I'm sure that's why it made it red and white, but then it chose some yellow here to stand out. So very cool one here. The artwork is simple. If that's what you like, I think simple sells sometimes. And so very vintage looking, but very simple when compared to some of the other ones here, and can work out. I think this would work really cool too. Like for this idea, I like how they had big and small. That's what I tried to do here with the bigger and smaller text on that one. All right, last one here, the funniest one. Childlike scribble. You see the dinosaur there, and this is hilarious. Corgi. Talk about simple artwork, even more simple artwork than the other one, right? It's almost kind of like we went down each time, like super nice design, like almost realistic looking, and then we went to this one where it's more cartoony, and then we went to this one more cartoony, and then that one, and then even this one's like way, whoa, scribble, like a child drew this, which is kind of fun too, right? So same, these are all the same prompt, and they gave me different ones, right? I took the exact same prompt. Now, things I did with this one, I wanted to see how it did other animals, so I did sardines. This is cracking me up. So I think this would be great for like a kid's design style, or people who love these kinds of styles. This prompt that I did right here is 3 sardines, asked it to put lemon slices and herbs and salt and stuff. And I think I should have said 1 sardine facing the other way, which wouldn't be hard to do. If I just vectorized it and then turned it around, that would be okay. But very cool. I think it would be easy to vectorize. It's not in a, wait, maybe it is, oh, it's already vector. So that's the nice thing. I forgot. This is another one that's already vector artwork. So if you click on here, you can see you can just change the color and move things around. It's already a vector. All the other ones were not vectors. They were rasters or like a Photoshop file, like a JPEG. But this one is actually a vector, just like we had in my last video. One of them is a vector. This one's also a vector. So you can easily change the color on some of these. So if you didn't like this blue color, you can make it a lighter blue or whatever. It's pretty cool. So the art style is kind of kooky wonky, but and the letters too. And I tried to do one where it's just text. So you notice this right here. Create a design with the words that. And I didn't say to add any animals or anything like that. And it added anyway. I guess because I said create a design, I didn't say don't add any graphics, but I didn't ask for graphics, and it added graphics anyway. So even the text itself looks like very kiddie hand-drawn kind of stuff, but really cool if you want this kind of thing. So think of designs that would match this. Now I wanted to go the other way as well to see if it would create something without any text, and it does. So this one doesn't have any text, just the dogs. And you can see each one is in a kind of a different style, but still with that black outline design. So everything's kind of in that black outline, and then they color inside. So that's what you got here. And then some of them aren't black outline, but the main things are kind of black outline. I think this one's all, yeah, all of the artwork and text is in a black outline. This is the 2, and so are all these dogs. So that's kind of the qualities of this one. The nice thing is, again, this is a vector, so you don't have to convert it to vectors. It's already a vector, which means you can move things around, move points around. So if you just like double clicked on this right here, you can make your E whatever you want. Like you can make it big like that or move it around. It's kind of cool. So I like that it does that right there. And if you want to change colors on some of these, like maybe you don't want that orange, you can make it more yellow, right? And that does it. I actually like the orange better. So anyway, I'm gonna hit that. All right, so those are the 5. Let's go over them one last time here. Old Fellow, almost called it Heritage Brew again. Warden Comic, DIY Print, Rizzo Print, and Childlike Scribble. In fact, this is the only one, this Childlike Scribble is the only one that doesn't have a texture on it because it's a vector. All these other ones kind of have textures on it. This one's highly textured with the print here. So let me know which one you think is the best one. If I had to pick one to do designs, I really like this Old Fellow. Look how good that did. Like the design style, when you zoom in, it's just amazing on there. And the way it did this corgi, wow. I'm gonna have to do more animals and see what it's like on here. But yeah, I think it goes in my order. I would say this one's first, this one's second out of these 5. Oh man, it's kind of a toss-up between these. I like the artwork on this, but this would be hard to use on by itself. This one would be an easy win for t-shirts, so I think that one. And if I am doing kids stuff, this one definitely would be. This is such an original kind of style here. Sometimes it's just really, really fun. So you can get, like I did design or with emotion with my last video, talked about selling with emotion. This definitely, all of these have really good emotion, but this one for sure, right? That sometimes people just buy it like, oh, that's funny, I gotta get it. So that's kind of what this would be. So hopefully this was really helpful for you. You don't have to spend your tokens on these. You can see exactly how these look like, kind of giving examples of what each one looks like. So there you go. Those are the 5 different styles in this video. If you want to see the other video that I did, I'll put that one right here. I go over 5 other ones and kind of do it in the same way if you haven't watched it already. Give you all of the examples and show you the corgi and the 5 different styles. It's really cool. So click on that video to watch it. Thanks again for watching. And as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.